Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney Algier, and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Again, we're not doctors, and the banter you're going to be listening to is our view and our view alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect. Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about canker sores. Not cold sores, canker sores. Two very different issues. Cold sores are, of course, herpes of the mouth. It's a herpes virus, but canker sores are not. Canker sores are not contagious. Cold sores are. So stick with us to learn what can bring on those canker sores and what are some things that you can do to heal it up quickly.
Yes, Delaney, I thought this topic would be interesting because I know when I have had a canker sore in the past, they can be extremely painful, so much so it is hard to even eat. I haven't had a canker sore in over 10 years, but if I ever get one again, I will be prepared to deal with it now that I have this information that we are going to share with our listeners, which of course we have put the links in the notes if the listeners want to read the articles where we have pulled information from.
Yes. So chances are our listeners have suffered from a canker sore or two in their lives. My husband definitely has pretty recently. These painful open ulcers on the inside of your lips, cheeks, or even your tongues seem to take forever to heal and can really cause some grief. The good news is that you may not have to worry about canker sores if you watch what you eat.
Okay, so let me describe a canker sore just to make sure our listeners are clear on what one is. So, a canker sore is generally round or oval with a white or yellow center and a red border. Your mouth might tingle or burn shortly before a canker sore forms in your mouth, though every time I have gotten one, they just seem to instantaneously appear, no warning.
Like zits. Oh.
Yeah. It can develop on the soft tissues inside your cheeks or lips and underneath your tongue. Most canker sores are under a third of an inch across. Unlike cold sores, canker sores are never on the outside of the mouth. They only form in the lining of the inside of the mouth, known as the oral mucosa, and they are absolutely not contagious. However, they can be very painful, and the pain is more likely to be felt when eating or speaking.
And as with many things, there are actually different types of canker sores. So there are minor canker sores. This is the most common type of canker sore, usually small, oval shaped with red edge. They can be painful at times, particularly when you're eating, and healing will occur usually within 1 to 2 weeks without any scarring. Now, a major canker sore. These are less common than minor canker sores. Usually round with very defined borders, but they can have irregular edges when they're very big, deeper and larger than minor sores. They can be extremely painful and can take as long as 6 weeks to heal and can leave behind pervasive scarring. The last type is the Herpetiform Canker sore. This is uncommon and it usually tends to occur more in the elderly. They're the size of a pinpoint, but tend to occur in clusters ugh, of 10 to 100 sores. That sounds awful. Sometimes merging together into one large ulcer with irregular edges. Ow. Typically, they do heal without scarring, at least in 1 to 2 weeks. I guess that's an upside. Uh, some less common symptoms of a canker sore can include fever, general discomfort or uneasiness, and then also swollen lymph nodes.
So, what causes a canker sore? Well, there are definitely different views depending on what you read. So, I will go over some causes that one author seems to think causes them, and Dalaney will go over a different view from a different article. In my experience, I personally think hormone fluctuations and sugar are definitely triggers for me. The exact cause of a canker sore is still unknown, but it's believed that several factors can trigger the occurrence of a canker sore. So I'm going to read some of those. An accidental cheek bite, which I had never heard of until Dalaney mentioned that earlier.
That is my husband's number one cause.
Yeah, I thought I was almost just deleted that thinking that is just not,
No, I would have brought it up anyways then. Because it's he just like bite, like he'll be chewing food and I don't bite it, like, oh, we're gonna get a canker sore.
So that's pretty wild. So
Yeah.
then a food sensitivity, most commonly to an acidic or a spicy food or to gluten. Thank goodness I don't get them to spicy foods because I
That would be
love spicy
sad.
food. Certain oral care practices or injuries, such as cleaning teeth too roughly, injury from dental work, toothpaste, or mouth rinse containing sodium lauryl sulfate, which I had no
SLS,
idea.
that's another one. He
Yeah.
was, I never paid attention to that in my life, and now I have to make sure when I buy us tooth or mouth products, make sure they're SLS free.
Well, you should have been doing that for the last 20 years, but
Well, yeah, like I'm assuming you just did that, but like it was never a top priority, I guess, for me.
yeah, I had no idea. That's another one I almost took it. I thought, oh my gosh, this is just like made up, and here your husband has all these issues.
Yeah.
So emotional stress is another. Hormonal changes, I totally agree with that one because that's happened to me.
Mhm.
The presence of Heliobacter pylori, also known as H. pylori, that's a bacteria that causes peptic ulcers. B vitamin, zinc, folate, or folic acid, and or iron deficiencies are believed to contribute to the development of canker sores.
As an anemic woman, I'm glad that's never been the cause for me.
And canker sores can also occur when you have certain conditions or diseases, including immune suppressing viruses such as HIV or AIDS, celiac disease, an autoimmune disorder that can occur in genetically predisposed people where the ingestion of gluten leads to damage in the small intestines, and ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, or another inflammatory bowel problem, and Behçet's disease, a rare chronic autoinflammatory disease of unknown origin that causes inflammation throughout the body, including the mouth. So that was one article's view on what causes canker sores. Dalaney is going to read another view, which I thought was very interesting.
Yes. So the other article states that the number one food that causes most canker sores is high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, sometimes listed on labels as corn sugar, and how simply avoiding it is all that it is needed for most people to banish them for good. which if you live in the US, then you might as well just never eat processed food again. So the author goes on to say that even if a canker sore seems to be triggered by something else, like a scrape from a dental appliance, like braces, or accidentally biting your tongue, the underlying cause is still diet. In other words, the mouth inflammation was already present, such that the wound that occurred in the mouth resulting in a canker sore.
So why is your husband's diet so horrible?
It's not. He's like better than me. I'm like, yeah, I need some dark chocolate in my life. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to eat some more like veggies and whole fruits. I'm like, oh. So, the author states strongly that what you eat greatly affects whether or not you suffer from canker sores on a regular basis or infrequent. High fructose corn syrup promotes inflammation in the body, which in turn impairs the immune system. An impaired immune system is thought to be the underlying cause of canker sores. A person on a typical diet of overly processed supermarket foods is a prime candidate for frequent mouth ulcers. This is because this HFCS is in everything. It really is. Plain corn syrup can be problematic as well. This is why eating too much fruit or fruit juice can cause canker sores as well. The sugar in fruit is primarily fructose. Surprisingly, it is not the acid in most cases that is causing the problem, although acidity may be the contributing factor. If acid were the primary problem, then drinking kombucha tea would also cause canker sores.
Yes, the author is very passionate about this and makes the statement that too much fructose equals canker sores. Even agave nectar, which many consider a healthy food, contributes to canker sores. The author says that agave nectar is best avoided. It is highly processed in a manner very similar to high fructose corn syrup. It is neither healthy nor helpful in any way to the person consuming it. Stay away from it if you want to avoid canker sores, and just drink tequila, which is made from agave. The author used to suffer from canker sores all the time, to the point where she had at least one bothering her much of the time. She had, yeah, that would be very painful and annoying. Gosh. She hasn't had a canker sore in over 25 years, simply by cutting out high fructose corn syrup from her diet, which improved her quality in life. And in addition, she watches her intake of regular fructose from other sources like fruit. Of course, if you start checking food labels, you will be shocked. Even commercial peanut butter and ketchup contain it. Simply reading the labels and switching to brands that do not contain high fructose corn syrup will also improve your health. And again, in the last episode, we talked about the pickle story, and it was so hard for me to find pickles that didn't have high fructose corn syrup, just regular sugar. It was crazy. And Delaney, also, we talked about just reading your labels, because they put high fructose corn syrup in everything. And so buy the things that don't have that. And there are plenty, but you just have to read labels.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to give everyone an example of where you find high fructose corn syrup and how much of it is in our food. The author also states that it's good to limit your intake of fructose from all sources to no more than 15 grams per day. This is about half the amount of total sugar intake per day that can be tolerated without ill effects. So is that below the American 10% sugar or the worldwide 5% sugar intake? Do we know?
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that in the last episode. Yeah.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Probably. I mean, again, if we just want to go for the 5, like what,
Yes.
Go big or go home, right? Okay. So Dr. Richard Johnson, MD, states in his book, The Sugar Fix, how important it is to limit your fructose intake for health and weight control. So to give you some idea of how much fructose is in fruit, big ripe banana has about 10 grams of fructose.
That's
I saw a
pretty
picture
wild.
that is a picture the other day, and it was like a banana. And then like all the stages of a banana, like green, kind of green,
With less sugar.
yellow,
Yeah. I think it's the
yellow with
brown.
some bruises, and then like brown disgustingness. So mom and I are weird. We like the ones that still have green.
Except when you make banana bread, then you want the
Right. Then
brown
you need the
disgusting because
squishy
they're
ones. Yeah.
very,
But
they're
like,
very
oh
sweet.
my gosh, if it was too yellow, I never wanted it. And I forget now, but I think the picture thing was telling you like the pros and cons of each stage. I think only one of the major pros for our stage, mom, that we like is fiber.
It's great for your gut
Yeah.
microbiota. If you
Yeah.
eat green plantains or
Right.
bananas, it's wonderful.
Yeah. But then I think like the yellow was like the best, but I just didn't like that. Anyways. So
Well, that I don't mean to interrupt, but that, what did it say? 10 grams of fructose. So that's 2.5 teaspoons of sugar.
yeah.
Like, because
And
for every
then
4
so like
grams, it's about a teaspoon of sugar.
one banana is 2/3 of your allotted daily income if you go by the 15 grams per day maximum that this doctor is encouraging.
Yeah.
So you can eat
So,
like 1.5 bananas.
Yeah, berries are less in sugar. You should just,
Yes.
Google fruit that has the least amount of fructose. I mean,
Yeah.
cranberries, obviously, but people need a little bit. They're sour.
Yeah, those are a little intense.
But yeah, berries are lower on the.
But homemade cranberry sauce is really easy. Fun fact for anybody. I know the canned stuff is just fun sometimes. You just want that like
Ew.
gelatinous.
I never have liked that. I like the real stuff.
I like making the real stuff because it's so easy. You just like cook, like you just put them over heat until they pop. Add like a little bit of orange juice if that, you don't even need to add sugar. Like literally I just add like real orange juice and that's it. And it's done in like 2 seconds.
Oh, you have to let me know. I have tons of frozen fresh cranberries in my freezer.
There you go. You can just make cranberry sauce for days.
I'll bring that down for Christmas.
Boom, done. I will make it.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, if you eliminate high fructose corn syrup in your diet completely and eat no more than 1 to 2 pieces of fruit a day, that would be a great way to go. Be aware also that going over the fructose limit of 15 grams per day, 25 grams at the absolute most, can cause a canker sore very quickly. Sometimes within a few hours, one or more can appear. Again, these are sounding more and more like zits and pimples. So I feel like sometimes you just like go to work and then you like go and it's fine. Like, you checked your face in the mirror, look good, you walk into work, and then your first bathroom break, you're like, what is that? Just me? I don't know. Anyways, even one Capri Sun, which I will admit I had one on Saturday because I was helping out with high schoolers.
They're
and
way
that's
too
all
sweet.
I had, and I went for it. But yeah, I kind of regretted it. It was like a nostalgic thing. I was like, I used to have these as a kid, and I was like, why? When I was drinking it. Anyways, so one Capri Sun or half a can of soda can trigger a canker sore. I luckily narrowly escaped that, but then I had Chipotle afterwards, so maybe that counteracted it, all that fresh avocado and lettuce. The bottom line is that even if you control your fructose intake 99% of the time, consuming a single food loaded with high fructose corn syrup can cause a canker sore to appear quickly. So as we get into the holiday season, eaters beware. So imagine what incredible damage a high fructose diet is doing to a person's insides if it's causing an ulcer in the mouth so quickly. Also, I just rewatched Osmosis Jones. It's free on Amazon Prime right now for anybody who has that.
Oh, cool.
So watch it. It's cute. Anyways, but watch all the havoc that's happening inside your body when you're eating gross things. Unfortunately, women are actually more likely to get canker sores than men. And they can also run in a family. So I'm super curious if they run in my husband's family. I'm going to interrogate him about that after this. Possibly due to heredity or shared environmental factors like foods and allergens. But unfortunately, anyone at any age can develop a canker sore.
Yeah, you'll have to ask your husband's parents if they get them
Yeah.
or had.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you see, the author of one of the articles is very passionate about avoiding high fructose corn syrup to avoid canker sores. I know that as painful as they are, I would try anything if I still got them. And I do avoid high fructose corn syrup and have for so many years. That may be why I don't get them anymore, but I'm just grateful that I don't. So now Delaney and I will go over some natural remedies to mitigate canker sores if our listeners do get one. Most canker sores are very small and go away on their own within a week or two without any scarring. But even though they're small, 7 to 14 days of annoying pain in your mouth is not good. So here is a mouth rinse recipe to help cut down on the pain and healing time. You'll need a teaspoon of baking soda, 2 tablespoons of aloe vera juice, and a half a cup of warm water. Combine all ingredients in a small glass or mug and stir until well blended. Take a small sip and swish mixture around in your mouth for at least 10 seconds. Repeat until no rinse is left. Do not swallow. Repeat 1 time daily until the canker sore completely heals. The simple yet super effective mouth rinse is sure to reduce inflammation and ease pain fast.
Another way is you can ice it. Suck on a small ice cube to soothe the canker sore and reduce inflammation. The coldness of the ice slows down blood flow to the canker sore, thereby reducing pain and swelling. And if anyone has rolled an ankle like me, that's another, or any like sports or exercise related swellings and inflammations, this really does work. They even have a whole process. It's rice. So you like rest, ice. I always forget what the C stands for, and elevate.
That's funny.
So, yep, ice totally works.
We just don't know what the C is.
No, but it's fine.
Because it still works.
Canker sores, you can't really like elevate them anyway, so it's fine.
Okay, so watch what you eat. Avoid rough, spicy, or acidic foods that can cause even more irritation and pain. One of the easiest ways to get a canker sore, angry or angrier, is to consume one or all of these foods.
You can also supplement with B vitamins. Certain nutritional deficiencies can lead to canker sores. A double-blind study found that supplementing with sublingual vitamin B12 prevented canker sore recurrences, even in people who were not deficient in B12. The amount used in the study was 1,000 micrograms, which is 1 milligram, twice a day for 6 months. In addition, supplementing daily with a B complex vitamin has been reported to provide some people with relief.
Okay, get an iron test to see if you need to supplement with iron. If the blood test shows you are low, talk to your doctor about supplementation.
Also, having good quality probiotic yogurt daily is great for the treatment of canker sores. The passage of friendly bacteria from probiotics through your mouth helps the canker sore to calm down and heal, and the smooth coolness of yogurt also helps with the pain. So, like, would froyo count as well if you made like your own froyo popsicle?
I don't think froyo has healthy ingredients.
No, like again, you have to make your own.
Okay, yeah.
So it'd have to be, like you said, a good quality, maybe even organic probiotic yogurt, but then you create a popsicle out of it.
That sounds good.
Right?
Yeah, well, you can do that and see if your husband gets any relief.
There we go.
Personally, I like this next one the best. Because I have licorice around my house. So the research has found that people with canker sores who gargled 4 times per day with deglycerinated licorice, that's DGL.
I see why they abbreviated on the label. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Liquid extract. And actually, the DGL, you can just, I have regular licorice, but if you have blood pressure problems, you want to get DGL because they're taking out the part of the licorice that raises blood pressure.
And we like the DGL licorice for heartburn as well.
Yes, it's amazing. Just to get these DGL tablets, it's licorice, but again, it's deglycerinated, so they've taken that out.
Yeah,
so you
it
don't have
tastes
to worry.
good if anyone's worried, because I hate licorice candy, but I like these.
Yeah, and your Graham's got everybody in Florida hooked on them. All the older people who had issues with whether it's heartburn or their tummy issues, and they all loved it.
That's
great.
great.
You take this, and you can get it in extract form. Of course, we were talking about the supplements you can chew, the liquid extract dissolved in water, and people found pain relief from this. So 75% of patients experienced a 50% to 75% improvement within 1 day, followed by complete healing of the ulcers by day 3.
That's
I
awesome.
wish I would have known that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because, which it makes sense, because you take licorice also in pill form or tablet form, chewables, for ulcerated tummy issues.
Yeah.
So it supposedly cures those ulcers too.
Cool.
So to make a DGL mouthwash, mix half a teaspoon of licorice extract and 1/4 a cup of water. Swish, gargle, and expel the mouthwash 4 times daily for canker sore relief. You can also chew one of the 200 milligram tablets of DGL 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, again, I don't know if the tablets would work as well, because you're going to just take it down to your gut, which will help your stomach issues. But I think the extract, to me, just makes more sense here. And again, with as painful as canker sores are, this would be a wonderful thing to try. So I think you need to do that for your hubby.
Yeah, that sounds great. You can also mix equal parts apple cider vinegar and warm water and use this as a daily gargle to speed the disappearance of canker sores. Apple cider vinegar has acetic acid, which has the ability to kill dangerous or bad bacteria, and at the same time foster the growth of beneficial or good bacteria. It essentially acts as a natural antibiotic for the canker sore. And I think we did a whole episode on apple cider vinegar.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
And for you women out there, when things get wonky down below and you don't want it to turn into anything weird, just get the douches from like Walmart, pour the stuff out and put clean water in, meaning distilled water, and half apple cider vinegar, and do a douche like that, and then everything goes back to normal.
Voila.
Okay, so moving on, use a cotton swab to apply a mixture of half hydrogen peroxide, half water directly to the canker sore. Do not eat or drink for an hour after the treatment. Repeat daily. Hydrogen peroxide is good for your ears too. It feels really weird.
My husband didn't know that trick either, because like he had some earwax buildup and I was like, yo, just do this, and he's like, I was like, yeah, it's like, it's awesome. It like eats it and it's like like you hear the like crinkle crinkle crinkle.
Yeah. It's also if you have if you're starting to get a cold or an earache, same thing. You just put the hydrogen peroxide down there too.
Yeah, because if you and like I think you can like gargle it, right? Like if you have a sore throat.
I don't know. Don't put it down your nose like I do with salt saline solution. It burns.
Don't swallow. Yeah, because that you swallow it. But I'm like, you could, I don't know. Check this, but like Because then if you get rid of the sore throat, then it won't go into your sinuses. Yay.
Exactly. But, just again, the salt water,
Yeah,
I
that's
get the
good gargle
saline
too.
spray
Yeah,
and put
yeah,
it down
yeah.
my nose and,
Mhm.
and have it trickle all the way down my neck. And that gets rid of a
And that
lot.
feels good too, like on a sore throat.
Oh
'cause
yeah.
then it like
And it
it's just
keeps
as
it from
nice as
going to your
like
ears.
yeah, but it like scratch it because sometimes you
Yeah.
just like want to be able to scratch it.
That's why
The
people
salt
eat
water does that.
popcorn. Yeah. Salty
Yeah,
popcorn.
yeah. Okay, well, next time you have a canker sore, maybe you can simply apply a wet black tea bag to the sore, and it can help with pain and inflammation. It's the tea's tannin content that helps with the pain and inflammation. So I'm curious if it's the tannins, if swishing red wine around does the same thing.
That
No?
has fructose. I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. I see what you did there.
Sorry, you tried.
I did. I was trying. You can also use a chamomile tea bag instead of black tea. So maybe do black tea in the morning, chamomile at night.
There you go.
Chamomile has anti-inflammatory properties, which help treat canker sores as well. And again, one of our recent episodes, it also helps relax you for sleep. So maybe definitely don't do the chamomile one in the morning.
Yes. Okay, so if you suspect that a gluten intolerance is linked with your canker sores, then you can get tested for celiac disease by your doctor. Eliminating products with gluten could then become your main defense against canker sores. Do you think maybe your husband has an underlying gluten sensitivity?
No, because since he's been with me, he basically eats gluten-free and he still gets them. So
Okay.
yeah, no, because he's pretty chill. So like when we started dating, I was like, I don't eat bread. He was like, cool, okay. What are we gonna eat instead?
Oh, good.
So zinc deficiency has been linked with recurrent canker sores. So treating the deficiency may lead to relief. However, talk to your doctor before long-term zinc supplementation, or talk to my grandmother about how hard it is to take the pill.
I ordered her, some coated ones. She got the uncoated and almost choked to death, which is not funny, but it is kind of like, why do they make them that way? Everything else is not like that, but you pick up a zinc supplement and it's so hard to get down, and then
It is. And then if you do it on an empty stomach, it just is painful.
upsets you. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no warning labels on this. Bad. Anyways,
they do
everyone,
have
Grams is okay. She's fine.
Yes, she is.
That's why we're laughing. It's fine.
But there are coated ones and ones in capsules. So I recommend those.
Okay. A preliminary trial found that supplementation with up to 150 milligrams of zinc per day reduced recurrences of canker sores by 50% to 100%. Participants who were zinc deficient experienced the most consistent benefit. A good quality zinc lozenge once or twice a day is an easy way to help speed healing of a canker sore, just like it cuts the duration of a cold. But please take it with food or like chicken broth at least.
Well, like Dalaney said, yeah, take it with food because zinc easily upsets your stomach.
Yep.
Okay, so entirely avoid toothpaste and mouthwashes that contain sodium lauryl sulfate, and also shampoos. Not that you're ingesting that, but it is in shampoos. So it's just not, that great for you.
Yeah.
Which is a foaming agent that has been found to contribute to canker sore formation and recurrence. A study conducted in Norway linked sodium lauryl sulfate to canker sore incidences. It found that the denaturing effect of sodium lauryl sulfate on the oral mucosa layer with exposure to the underlying epithelium induces an increased incidence of recurrent canker sores. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I didn't either until I met my husband. I was like, I don't know. I just thought it was a bad thing, so I just didn't get it. So, Mom and I have given you many things to try the next time you may have a canker sore, But remember, we're not doctors, so if your canker sore is not getting better or is accompanied by fever, diarrhea, headache, and or skin rashes, go see your doctor. If your canker sores are unusually large, last more than 2 weeks, extend into the lips themselves, or outbreaks are excessively frequent, then it's a good idea to seek medical attention. Recurring sores, especially when new ones develop before old ones heal, are another cause for concern. And as is pain from canker sore, that is intolerable, excessive, or cause extreme difficulty when eating or drinking. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health. Even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabouthealth@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabouthealth.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com or follow me on Twitter at feedyourselfhealthy, which is spelled FEEDURSELFHLTHY. That's where they can find me.
Cool. Okay. And if you guys want to find me, I'm not a health coach, but I'm on Instagram hanging out there at Dalaney.a. Find out how to spell my name in the show notes and everything. And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule, and you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.